Mandisa Pepeta. The company I represent, my company is Qhakaza Africa Consulting. We provide architectural services and property development solutions. My typical clients are individual homeowners, property developers, government, and corporates, because part of our service is taking a brief from a client if they desire to build a particular facility. We look at the site suitability, we look at the zoning constraints according to municipality, and we ensure that the site is actually suitable for what they want to build. We then design and make sure that the design goes through to municipality for approval. And then we also involved in the construction management, where they procure contractors, and we ensure that whatever they have planned and designed is built to quality, within budget, and within time. We are always on the side of the homeowner or a client to ensure that the builder actually builds the facility according to how the plans are designed and also give quality. Right, I'm from Bizana in the Eastern Cape. I schooled there until matric, and then I studied at the former ML Sultan Technikon. My qualification is in architecture, and then my background didn't give me much information about architecture. Initially, I wanted to do drama, but because I wasn't audible enough, my English wasn't too good, I couldn't get into drama. But I think it was a blessing in disguise because I got to be introduced to architecture. That's how I got in. I was a bit lost in terms of the career to follow. After I couldn't get into drama, I did computers for a while. And then friends were asking, what actually do I want to do as a career? I said, I've got an artistic flair. So I'm looking for a course that is more practical, that whatever I do, I can understand other than theory all the way. Then they suggested that I look at architecture and town planning. And then in the first weeks of architecture, we got orientation to understand what architecture is about, and I got hooked since then. As I said, that I wanted to do drama, I wanted to be on TV, I wanted to be the big star. But when you actually look to articulate that particular dream, was about influence and about, people that are on TV seem to be having a lot of influence. So right now, as much as I didn't get into TV and into that space, but I've achieved the influence because it is all about that. I worked for a few architects after I qualified, and those architects were more on the Zimbabwe and more elite clientele. And I had some clients that would approach me in the afternoons and during weekends that were from the low income end and also from the townships that wanted me to provide the service. And then at the time, my employer said that we cannot offer the same services that we offer to the employer outside of our working time. And then I had to make a decision because when I worked, I wasn't exposed to the full spectrum of the service. I could only do a bit. But when I offered the services on the side, I could do so much more. So now I needed to make that decision, whether to stay employed or be on my own. Then I started the business in that way. And I want to say it was more of wanting to provide more services, but I was limited when I was employed. Yeah, it was a brave step. I always say that when I branched out, I did not tell my mom that I'm going on my own. And also I didn't tell some of the friends because I wasn't ready for someone to tell me it's not going to work, because actually I was going to believe them because I had no experience in running a business. So I was just going out, taking a risk, but it has worked out. I have met a lot of people that whenever they do their work, they're always excellent in their approach. Excellence inspires me a lot. That whatever you do, you must be excellent, you must be competent. So I've met quite a number of people. I may not say one in particular, but with a group of people that I've actually met, excellence and competence has always stood out for me. I make an impact by educating my clients, because most people are not very familiar with architectural services. They just believe that you just have a home, and how did that home come about? And also some of our clients have got ambitions and desires to build whatever they want to build in their sites. But then we have to educate them about environment, about the floodplains where you can't build in certain areas, and also what is allowed and not allowed in particular areas. For instance, you can't build a crash where it's not allowed because it increases traffic, the noise, and so on. So mostly what I enjoy the most is the education element of my service. I advocate a lot. So that space of influence, especially in the industry where I am, it is about advocating for the injustices that we see, to be the voice for those who don't have the seat at the table. So I'm part of the architectural community within the eThekwini region, the KZN region. I'm also a board member within the South African Council of Architectural Profession. And I got there because of advocacy, that I believe that myself as Mandisa, there are many others that at times don't get the seat at the table. So for me to achieve that, it's a space of influence. Through backgrounds, or some people become timid in certain spaces and industries, and some of us who've been around longer and who have managed to get a seat at the table, we've become that voice. I always make an example about one of those challenges that I've experienced. It was the language barrier, because I'm Xhosa speaking, and I struggled with English when I got into architecture, and that became a huge challenge. I could write English, but I could not speak English. I had to firstly read a lot, watch a lot of TV, and my kids always challenged me with that, because now they can't speak isiXhosa. And they would ask why I never actually taught them isiXhosa. And it used to bring so much guilt to me. But until I found an answer that I was actually busy learning English. So that's why I didn't speak so much of vernac. That was the first part in my younger life into the space. And then secondly, it was running a business when you don't know how to, because you are qualified in the trade of architecture, but not really running the business. So there were challenges there in terms of business skills, understanding financial side of the business. But I've overcome that through training and workshops, and also mentorships where I'm in the community of more experienced people. I would just say that to the young women that are looking up to us or are emerging and starting, that you must learn and learn. You must look for mentors, people that have achieved and that are before you, because what works best is that people would ask, how do you make sure and how do you stay confident in your work? And I heard the one time on SAFM that competence actually brings confidence. So you find if you don't know much, you can't be confident. So you need to always learn your skill and what your trade is about so that you can be actually confident. So that is what I would say to the younger ones, that learn and learn, and you must actually perfect your skill. And in doing that, you must also look for mentors who have walked the path. Yeah, that becomes tricky, in terms of what you aspire, because I've been in the industry for quite some time. But what I really set down as my goals is to be more influential in the architectural industry, in the property space, because I've realized that the people that really can make changes and the challenges that we face are people that can actually make decisions. So I always look into opportunities where I can always get a seat at the table of decision making, and that is what I really look forward to have more opportunities in the decision making tables in our country. I am a mom to 4 kids, and I just spend most time at home. And to relax, I play tennis when I can. I jog when I can. But more so, I spend most of the time trying to make sure that the kids are happy. And they also make me relax because I used to work a lot, night times, weekends. But I always make sure that I reserve time to relax and spend time with family.